Hey, Skylar here from the Mint Changeyoucanwear, and today I'm here with
Wilford Brimley,
and we're going to be making a coin ring out of a Franklin $50, and we're going to be sleeving half of the outside with some stabilized wood. So stick around, it's going to be a good one today.
we will help you go where we have been.
And stick around to the very end of the video because we're going to be giving this one away, and you'll get the details at the end of today's video.
It can help you live a better life.
All right, let's get to it. And today we're going to be using a Wilford Brimley $50, silver $50. How'd you feel when you had a $50 named after you, Wilford?
I was scared. My tongue felt like a horseshoe rasp.
And now we're going to be cutting the hole in our coin with this auto punch by Jason's Works. You can find his tools at jasons.works if you're looking for it. And if you're just getting into this and you don't want to spend a ton on an auto punch, there are some other options.
Do the best you can with what you got and be thankful that you're in no worse shape than you are.
And now once we get this coin off of the punch, we're going to be deburring it. And what we're going to be using is a deburring tool to cut the sharp edges that are on this coin you can see right now. And we're doing this so we can avoid
Diabetes.
We just don't want this coin to split when we're starting to forge it. And now once we're done with the deburring, we're going to smooth everything out with a piece of 120 grit sandpaper. Just make sure everything's nice and clean, smooth, nothing rough or sharp in there. That should avoid any trouble. And now what we're going to be doing is annealing it. This is going to soften the metal. But be really careful, you don't want to overheat the metal and cause issues with it.
One of the things I've learned to do is loosen up, kind of relax about the whole thing.
And now we're going to be taking one of Jason's 17-degree dies. This one's going to be the 1.2 side of this die. And put our coin into it, and then place it in our 1-ton arbor press, and press it down with one of the universal folding cones. Dom DeUdo commented, "I try to do the same thing with $10 bills. Impossible. Tomorrow, I try with my wife's gold forks." Well, Dom DeUdo, good luck to you. And we'll go ahead and re-anneal it now. Every time you move the metal, it's good to re-anneal it because it gets work hardened as we move it. And before we start to bend it again, we're going to re-sand that cut edge and check it for cracks.
You check it off and there's no reason not to.
And if you find a crack,
You can choose to feel sorry for yourself.
or you can just go ahead and keep sanding till you get rid of it. And now we're throwing it back in the die and folding it the rest of the way with a non-steel folding cone. That way we don't damage any of the detail. And back to re-annealing. Now we need to stretch the cut edge of this coin out so that way it'll be larger than our target size we're shooting for. Right now it's too small, and it's always a good idea to add a little plastic in between the coin and the ring stretcher. That way you're not going to cause any damage on the detail.
The more attention you pay to these things and the more diligent you are, the faster you'll get better and the better you'll feel.
And what we're going to need now is the middle Swedish wrap die and the largest plunger for the middle wrap die. And we're going to wrap our coin in 25 wraps of Teflon tape. What we're going to be doing is extruding this coin in the Swedish wrap die. Adding the tape just keeps the coin safe as we're pressing it through this die. Harry S2 commented, "Yo, your Swedish joke ain't fun." I'm sorry, Harry. That wasn't meant to be a joke. I just picked the most contemporary Swedish hip-hop artists I could find and put them on the video. And now that the brass plunger has cut the tape, we can get rid of the plunger and switch over to this Ross coin ring push follower. And this is just allows us to press the coin all the way down without having to constantly switch different plunger sizes out.
Mind-boggling.
I've gone far enough, we're going to turn it around and get rid of any cone shape that we might have. Make it a perfectly flat, even ring. Okay, this is what we're left with. A perfectly flat coin ring. Now it's time to get it on the lathe.
And you'll ask yourself, how in the world am I going to afford all this stuff?
Well, now that's a good question, Wilford. What I always recommend is you start with a small basic kit, and once you get good at quarters, then move your way up to larger things. And now what we're doing is just lathing off that first half side of that coin ring so it'll be able to accept the wood later on. And the expanding ring mandrel that I'm using to hold this coin, I get it from bangleguide.com. And this is the piece of stabilized wood that we're going to be using. I've already cut it into a round shape, and so we're going to be putting it in the jaws of the lathe and then cutting a hole right in the center of it. And the hole's going to be just big enough for us to fit our boring bar inside. And once we get the boring bar in there, we're going to cut it open just enough to where it'll barely fit onto that lathe portion of the ring we'd made earlier. And I want to thank you guys who watched my spinner ring video and then donated to that organization, Destiny Rescue. I just saw that they rescued 900 kids from sex trafficking this year so far. And if you guys want to get in on this, I'm going to put a link in the upper right hand corner of this video to Destiny Rescue so you guys can check them out and go donate also. And for the entire month of December, every time I sell a spinner ring on my website, we're going to be donating $25 to Destiny Rescue. It's a really awesome organization, and I've been following them for a couple years now. It's an amazing group of people who go out and give their time to do what really needs to be done. Now we have the inner diameter of the wood exactly where we need it, so we're going to get it all ready, clean all the sawdust off of it, and glue these two pieces together. Now I'm going to be using CA glue for that. And once the glue is dry, we're going to throw the coin ring back onto the expanding ring mandrel, and we're going to lathe that wood down to where it matches the same diameter of the coin.
If you want to get better, I'm going to give you a few things to do. Now, I'm not perfect, and I've eaten ice cream and apple pie and ice cream and my medicine and people with diabetes. But I want to tell you, get happy and laugh all your cares away. See if I'm not right.
And the tricky part about doing anything with coin rings on a lathe is the fact that they aren't totally round. So like the detail where in God We Trust is sunken in a little bit more than the other side of the ring. So I'm having to manually sand some of that thickness off of the areas that are sticking out farther. That's what I'm doing now. I just put a little piece of sandpaper on a paint stick and just sanding off those little areas. And once you're done with that, start sanding through all the different grits up to about 1200 grit to smooth the wood all the way out. And this is what we're left with once we're done sanding. Now what we need to do is deburr that coin edge that's in there, the sharp edge that's inside the coin that we left. And this is going to finalize our fit. And just sand the areas that we deburred to make sure everything's nice and smooth and looks clean. And now I'm going to be using some 4-0 steel wool just to clean the ring up. And now that we have that done, I'm going to put a CA finish on the wood portion of the ring.
Diabetes.
I wanted it to be a little bit less shiny, so I sanded quite a bit of it off. And this is what we're left with. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the end of the video. And if you wanted to win this ring, all you need to do is make sure you're a subscriber to my channel and make sure you comment on this video.
Have a good day.